Okay, so...
Last one.
Yeah, last song in the album. After a dark carnival, it sounds like the album's out to an end, and then all of a sudden this is almost... I think back in the day it would have been a hidden song on a CD that just pops out of nowhere. You're like, oh.
So this is also kind of us pulling from our past, sort of. It was more of the basic guitar line that we pulled from something that we had before, but the lyrics are all completely new, and we felt the album was actually too dark. Even for us, we wanted it to end on a positive note. And we'd been working out a ballad called These Broken Parts, which I still think is this beautiful piece of music that's just not finished. But when we listened, like, a ballad on the end after we've had Forgive and Forget You and This Dark Carnival, and even Mirror Mirror, which is more in that kind of, space of being a ballad.
Yeah.
So we're like, we need something positive. We go, well, what about like a love song about how I don't actually need it. Like, we could still stay philosophical and say what we're trying to say with this whole thing in a more upbeat song. And so I got tasked with writing the lyrics because I gave the idea to Liz, and she goes, I got nothing. So I go, well, what do you want me to do? She goes, I want you to write a song from my point of view, specifically. And I go, well, all I can do is imagine what it is. So I tried to do the most happy, upbeat version of Liz that I know and write what I think she would feel.
Yeah, I think it works really well. And again, I hate bringing, like modern times and social commentary, but it definitely, it appeals to things nowadays because, like I said, a lot of people are making themselves out to be something a little bit more than they really are. And this is basically saying, we don't need all that. We don't need all the Instagrams and perfect Facebook pictures and stuff like that. You don't need a fairy tale.
Yeah, and this lyric is more in my wheelhouse than what mostly I'm writing for Bitter Elegance. And this has been the biggest challenge for me in forming this band in 2015 and moving forward, is that the kind of thing that we're doing musically is dead on with my heart. More than anything I've done in my entire life playing music. If I could visualize, what do I want to do? It would be this.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm so happy all the time now. It's like I found these musical soulmates that were doing exactly what I would want it to do. But lyrically, I'm a little lost because I tend to write lyrics like this one with very, very specific images, not ambiguous, sort of funny. And we figured, well, it's the closing track. Maybe I can just have fun with it. But I found that after writing all of this Bitter Elegance type stuff that's more metaphorical, I was able to do it without going too far. So it still doesn't, it's not too specific. Like, I think it could be relatable to a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, it just feels like kind of a triumphant reemergence from the end of the album. The album seems like therapy, and then this is you jumping out of the therapy room. It just ends on a very positive note and very happy note.
Yeah, and this one...
guitar solo.
Like the shortest guitar solo ever recorded, I think, 4 notes. I like it though, it just bridges those two parts with a really positive sounding high note. Playing this live was great fun for us. Because we finally, we can get out of that really downtrodden halftime thing and just rock.
Yeah, that's what this feels like. It feels like a break-free song. You just got everything, finished your test and running out and like, yes, I no longer have to worry about this anymore.
Yeah, and it also being the last song on the album, we were able to play a little bit more to Dave, Mike's, and my power pop roots, guitar, bass, and drums, even though they're played with more like contemporary tones and still a lot of keyboards.
Yeah.
It is more of a guitar, bass, and drum song than the rest of the album. And we weren't so worried about, what are our fans going to think that maybe aren't huge Blink-182 or Ramones fans, which is where I kind of really... lean towards that kind of music. And so far the reaction has been people have really liked it.
It's definitely one of my top songs on the album.
Good. Well, thanks.
But his ringtone is the soundtrack to my summer. I can't hold a straight thought when he's holding my hand.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things I find ironic. I might say this again when we listen to it, but I find ironic about the I don't need a fairy tale. It's like, well, but she married a prince. It's like,